bullshit conversation of today.
Yeah. I just want you to know, because you didn't see, I don't think, but I went to the one without the layout when things go wrong first.
Yeah.
That's just a beautiful example as to what's going on here. Anyway, we're a massive mess. We're down another person. They're dropping like flies. I'm kidding. Naomi should be here at some point.
Technical difficulties.
But hello, welcome back to this small piece of chaos. I hope you're all good. I have no memory of what happened over the weekend. I don't remember very much of what happened.
Let me get the records out.
Let me get the records. You gotta blow dust off them. Otherwise it doesn't count. From what I do remember, however, my skin is falling off.
That's another thing entirely, but
yeah, sure.
It's because I've been like dehydration and suddenly I'm hydrated, so my lips are like, oh, we're gonna give you some new skin, but in the process, all of the skin is. I'm sorry, that was like an overshare that you didn't need.
Too much information.
But, it's a struggle that I'm having.
I'm going through the same thing, but it's like I don't know if it's worth discussing.
Yeah,
as an open conversation.
Should I tell this? I'm not sure.
Look. I have no brain-to-mouth filter. If it's in here, it's coming out here. So
that's about right, yeah.
It's very rare for something to stay in the mind, so to have it come out the mouth is just an advantage at this point.
Look, if I'm lucky, I can try and pick the best moment for it to come out of my mouth. However, I can't promise anything. So we split the party even more.
Yeah.
Again, after we promised we wouldn't do that. Seymour's kind of just fucking off.
Yeah.
Kaya's on his trail.
Yes.
Yeah. But Kaya also doesn't know where they are.
Yeah. We also have an issue of portals? Question mark.
Yeah.
I to be honest believe it's wild magic or something. Jesus, Mom.
Family members?
Yep.
Outrageous.
I'll be honest, the whole session just kept confirming to me again and again and again that the thing that's happening with Seymour and Kaya was meant to happen to the whole party if we all went to go get Seymour, but the fact that me and Helra didn't means that we just kind of fucked everything over.
Yeah.
No, Hattie and Reina also ran, so we might have, if we would have followed Kaya, we would have been on the same path.
Yeah.
But Snipe and Hilra would have been behind.
Yeah.
So,
horses are dead.
Yeah.
We're not dead yet.
In backstage news, we were asked by our DM to create new characters. Backup characters.
Or message us individually, or starting his messages along the lines of, not to be ominous, but...
Yeah, so, knowing our ability to make really bad decisions, I think we're going to be playing them sooner, rather than later.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited about my character.
He literally said, hey friends, well I've got this on my brain. Before this session on Saturday, I want to talk a bit about backup characters for this campaign. And then, not to sound ominous, it was something I was thinking about. We'll talk about it more next Saturday.
Yeah.
It's like, sure.
And we all got that at the same time. It was around about the end of it, the Crimson Petal thing. It was literally just us three stuck in a call, just thinking, like, what does he mean by backup characters? Because we didn't understand how he meant. He worded it in a way that he wanted us to make characters. Basically, it was a roundabout way of him punishing us for not talking to one another, so that we would actually have characters that are forced to talk to one another.
I think it's also partly because when we made our characters, we didn't talk about like the campaign setting because it was one shot. So we were like, why would it need to tie in if it's just a one shot we're gonna play? And then it's turned into a campaign, and now we're not really having characters that are connected to the world. To each other.
That's one of kind of the major issues, is that because it all started as a one shot, there isn't kind of that interconnectedness which kind of can make campaigns so freaking cool. But I mean, out of curiosity, whose character or whose backstory is your new character going to be intertwined with? Because this is the task that we were given, was to make it so it's
Understandable.
Connected.
Well,
I'm
created
just saying the same words
3.
again. Someone help me. My brain.
I created 3 backup characters.
Jesus, how badly do you think this campaign's gonna go?
Well, it's like depends on which character dies first. If Reyna dies first, I have a character for each, like a backup character for each character. I haven't talked to Jenks about this, but like if one character dies first and then Reyna dies, I have a character like for another character. Basically,
That
I
is
have one for
ideal,
Hetty, for Reyna, for Hetty, Seymour, and Kaya.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
not for Snipe. I'm not sure if I will do that, but you know.
Yeah, to be honest, I think I fucked myself over by making a character that, by their own origin, was not connected to the world at all. So,
yeah.
So I don't blame anyone not having any connection to Snipe, let alone myself. I have no character that has any connection to Snipe if Snipe dies, and it seems like Snipe's going to be the first to go. In all honesty.
Yeah, but you're missing how impulsive and how good at making bad decisions Hattie is, so you never know. You never know.
Yeah, well then again, I always think Hattie's just kind of lucky. Like,
that's kind of true, actually.
She just kind of, she gets into shitty situations, but always just manages to get out of them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no,
just
in one way or
easily.
another.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Snipe's like, I have no hit points left. I get punched by a.
I'm dead, and the other half of
and
me
I'm
is now contagious within the realms.
You
so
got bitten by a spider amulet, and you lost half of your temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh my gosh.
I ain't good. I don't think I've saved myself either that I didn't sleep during the night, thinking that I'd be able to cheat the system by just not sleeping.
Ooh.
I'm curious if it will worsen if you don't sleep, or if
I think it will. I think the fact I mentioned it out loud, I just had the feeling. The fact I mentioned it out loud, Jax will now work his way to make it not happen.
Yeah.
He will now go out of the way to make sure that no good thing happens.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you don't sleep, you get points of exhaustion.
Yeah.
And then you can't properly fight, which means the person you're up against is
stronger
than you are just as like a base level. So
you
die easier.
I'm gonna look up all the points of exhaustion and what they do. Because
Just
I mainly know the first one. That's just on ability scores.
Well, the way it is that, like, think for 1 point of exhaustion, which is just like you don't sleep for one night. It's just like you get disadvantages and rolls. I don't intend to go any further than 1 night of exhaustion. The reason for it is that even if I do end up losing HP, I would still take the times that I am awake to at least travel a bit further.
Yeah.
So that even if I do lose HP, at least I'm covering more grounds, which means I'll get there quicker.
Yeah.
Where is the conditions?
It doesn't help that I'm still stuck in the town right now.
And the others are 4 days ahead of us.
Yeah, and just for our audience, I don't know why half of my face is overexposed. I am very pale, however, I'm not this pale.
It's just to prove that you're not a vampire.
Yeah. So who's your new character connected to? So, I was going to call you Snipe then.
I'll gladly take that as a compliment. I've decided to connect to Seymour, which is a very risky thing to take because Dave is also in the situation where his character could die very easily.
But it doesn't mean. But if that character dies, it means maybe has the English language. If Seymour dies, it means that your new character might have like a reason to go to like El Toral or wherever to be like, what the fuck, dude? Why you be dead?
Yeah. It's also interesting that like how Jenks would work with his patron, because it's like if Seymour dies, where does his patron go? Like, does he then choose one of the people that Seymour's been around?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot the levels of exhaustion. It's first disadvantage on ability checks, then it's your speed halved, then disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, then a hit point maximum halved, then speed reduced to 0, and then death.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty.
So I'm only gonna do it as just like I'm gonna stay awake for 2 whole days, and then the second night I sleep. So that, because having my speed halved, that defeats the purpose of me trying to travel further. So it's a case where it's like, if I can just skip 1 night, I'd be okay as long as I don't run into shit. If that be the case, and now Snipe is dependent on Hattie and Reyna getting back to the town.
God.
What is our planning? Because I'm like, well, Seymour and Kaya are in front of us.
Yeah.
And
they could further split, because Kaya doesn't know where Seymour is.
No.
Only Seymour knows where he is, and Kaya doesn't know where she is.
I think Reyna and Hattie Reina process of thought, Jesus, words.
It's been a day.
Reina's process is messaging Kaya, messaging Seymour, asking where they are, where they're headed, and if she knows it and she knows a way through the tunnels, she will go through the tunnels, but if she doesn't, she will probably just start walking back to the town where Snipe is. And just make sure they are in a group again, and they will travel towards Seymour and Kaya.
I think someone's gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah, probably me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Sure, it's a possibility.
My character, essentially what I'm gonna... So me and Dave are working out a way where our characters can be, like, friends before we, like, join the campaign. However, thinking about it, that relies on both of our characters dying. However, what I'm going to say is, hey, my character knows this specific character who isn't actually in, like, a PC, but, like, I'm going to leave you as to decide how the character is brought in.
You could maybe make a character that's connected to each other, but also has a faint connection to one of the other characters' backstories.
Yeah. Okay, so my character is connected to Dave's character and also Granny. So I'm gonna just say to Janks, like, get Granny to, like, send me on a mission, or maybe I don't know. There you go.
You passed Granny and you had a deal, and now you just happened to cross the roads of people who've also had to deal with deals.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just going to leave it up to Janks a little bit, I think. Because I've kind of put them in the world, like, firmly in the world, but I think with the way Granny works, it wouldn't be fair for me to say... Because Granny's, like... You know, she knows everything. She knew that there was going to be an attack and knew where to send us to put the stone in the river. It was just a normal stone. But, like, you know... My brain stopped functioning and we're like 10 minutes in. Fuck. Do you guys think our characters are gonna die?
I think there's a high possibility one or two will die.
Yeah, it depends. I really do think, like, what we do next session really depends on that, and I'm not hopeful. I'm really not hopeful, because we can metagame, but there's only so much we can do that Janks would allow, and so I really do think we're just going to further split up.
Yeah, and I feel like Janks literally said in Smokescreen, there will be situations, if you guys get yourself into these situations, that could literally kill you. If you go in alone or with your group, you have there's a high possibility of death. Depends on how much you fuck up yourself. So I completely believe there might be a character death soon if we fuck up.
Yeah.
Fun.
But like it's
like Hattie's just following Raina, by the way.
Okay.
Like she didn't like the idea of leaving Kaya. But she is just following Raina because she really doesn't know what to do, because it's not like everyone's there and we can kind of all make a decision together. It's literally just we are split up.
Yeah.
Even if like Seymour and Kaya are back together. I don't know what else to talk about this campaign because I'm just so worried about Hattie and everyone dying.
I think it's gonna be like, knowing Janks, it will probably be an epic like experience if one of the characters dies. It won't be like you walk into a group of orcs and you basically get smashed. It will be something that's
likely gonna happen to Snipe though.
Yeah, but I feel like there's gonna be something that if a character dies, I think Janks will take advantage of the character and the story they're in to connect it to the other characters and just like weave it around. Like make sure their death.
Crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's complicated to lose a character, but the possibility is always there, you know.
Yeah.
I just need to make sure I don't wear the Molly Mock t-shirt.
Don't.
According to Naomi's superstition, that is a guaranteed death. The thing is, I think I've heard about the Molly Mock thing before. Naomi mentioned it. I think I've heard about it online of like, I wore the t-shirt, we had a poster up, or someone had like a freaking pin of Molly Mock, and then we had a TPK.
Yep.
What if we TPK, guys? What if we TPK?
No, that's basically an opportunity to start a new story.
Me having a breakdown and you guys being like, what happens will happen. But guys, what if we TPK?
I would say that
we TPK.
I would say it's an interesting way to like make characters that are connected and basically pick up the story from there on. Because I believe, because Jenks has this entire story basically laid out. So basically, not everything, of course, but so if there's a TPK, we'll probably just have new characters find the prophecy again, but in a different location, and then still going to Elturel and still trying to figure it out, or an entire new storyline, and Elturel just takes place and shit happens, and we'll have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is an understandable like pain though, because it's like we got so used to these characters, and I think the downside is that the majority of us base the personalities of the characters partially on ourselves. So it's a case where it's like, I'm going to die.
The
inevitability of death is now coming ahead of everything.
A part of me shall die tonight.
Yeah, I'm curious because,
and it's not going to be the part I want to die.
Nah.
Because what did you base your characters on? Like, what did you base Hattie and Snipe on of your own personality?
Like a childish, happy version of myself.
Yeah.
Or like a little bit more childish.
Yeah, Snipe's just based on like my certain types of curiosity, with just like messing with stuff.
What did you base Rainer off of?
My like thoughtfulness and thinking about stuff before doing anything, and being, it's a bit weird, but it's like being scared to act because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So what we're saying is this was therapy.
Yeah.
That's DnD, yeah.
Now our therapy characters are going to die. Is there any way I can transport my therapy sword either IRL
to do another
different campaign?
Just seeing Hattie with a twice the size of her sword, like
she wouldn't even be able to lift it up, because not only does she not have proficiency in it, but I don't think
what's her strength?
Wield it.
What's her strength? I think it's a +0 probably, or is it +2? Because I believe Hattie and Rena are the strongest. Yeah, it's a +2.
Dope. She's still not able to wield it. She can try, but
just a small Hattie with like a big sword, just like
Wait, how big are great swords?
They're big. They're very big.
I believe 5 feet or something.
Yeah.
They're like
usually always to be wielded two-handed.
Yeah.
Because it's lifting a fucking person.
Yeah.
Yeah. About
1.5 meters, about 5 feet.
She's, what did I say she was? She's
3 something.
4. Yeah, so it's literally taller than her.
Yeah.
That's incredible, and I want to see that happen. Hattie with therapy sword.
I think that, like, if you had a coat, you take it off and just put it on the sword and just have it, like, walk like a second person with you. Like kids sneaking into a cinema in a trench coat, just like...
Yeah, it's how Hattie gets into the cinema. It's by using a great sword and a coat.
Yeah. That's just still.
Yeah, it's
just one, so like probably hopping on it like a pogo stick, or with the extendo stick and one leg and the sword on another, and just.
Yeah, that's
exactly
amazing. How that works, yeah. So we went fishing in the other campaign.
Yeah, on the other side of us having a fucking existential crisis in one campaign, we were having fun in another.
It's very like fun to have a bit of a campaign that's a bit less serious, basically.
Yeah.
It's still fun and it's still really enjoyable, but it's a little less.
Yeah, it's a bit of a breather.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. Yeah. I'm playing one of the most angsty characters I have ever played in D&D.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, she has so many problems.
But it's a change for you. It's a change for you.
Yeah.
It's something a little bit different.
Because you had Keith, Dirk, and Hattie.
Yeah.
All childlike, hyperactive characters, basically.
Your characters are really chill though. Like even Rascal, my god. Even look, we're gonna start introducing even more characters if these characters die. And I am gonna have no chance of remembering any of their names. I am like at the limit.
I think if we're going to answer questions about the new characters that will appear, we might leave the old dead characters basically, and we don't need to answer that for them anymore. Because it's just like, yeah, they're gone. Let's not just talk about them anymore because it's gonna make it complicated for ourselves.
And it's also going to be super friggin' sad.
Yeah, we're reminded, we're not playing that character anymore.
So I think, I've had the most characters out of everyone. In campaigns, so. not including one-shots. Beautiful. Love that for me. What was, because we chatted about what our L12 characters were based off. Who is Boy or what is Boy and Rascal based off of?
I need to get some names because it was somebody that I based them on.
Rascal is like the very selfish and egotistic side of myself, like very, very like enlarged basically.
It's interesting. Like, I know a lot of people who kind of use D&D as like a mask and like pretend like they're not playing part of themselves. So I think it's interesting that like just like seeing you as a person, you're willing to be like, there's that side. It's
me. You know, it's just it's a completely different character than I am. It's just a small part of me that's implemented in the character and enlarged very, very heavily. Because Reina is like the shy version of me, but I'm a very talkative person. If you meet me in person, I talk a lot. I have a lot of thoughts, and I just like to conversate with people. But Reina is like the small part of me that's quiet and thoughtful and just thinking before speaking. And also very enlarged, because that's basically her whole personality. If you see her for the first time, you see her and she just thinks before she talks, and if you get to know her, she'll open up. And that's just the small part of me you'll basically meet when you talk to me for the very first time.
Nice.
So it's these little small snippets of myself.
Yeah. It's good to work through them.
I had something profound to say, but the brain has gone.
I ruined it. I'm so sorry.
No, I forgot halfway through. It's fine. Who's Boy based off of? Also on yourself, or?
A bit. I'm trying to think. There are two characters that I kind of blended together to make the kind of personification of Boy, and it's a combination of a character called Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses, who's literally just he's a grifter. Like, he gets hooky gear and just sells it for extremely reasonable prices, even though everything's broken. And it's also a mix of the kind of eager, very intelligent, hyperactive area of Milo Thatch from Atlantis, Lost City. And so it's just kind of like a combination of that. If I was to present this character to most of my friends, they probably would say, "Oh yeah, that's Soph when she's drunk."
Oh wow!
That's fun. On the alcohol, I get very cocky and sarcastic.
That's brilliant. We need to see that. I'm
pretty sure we have seen that, but the pair of us have been drunk simultaneously, and we just weren't able to tell.
Everyone was drunk. You have no clue
we just
who what
turned
is.
into two different people having a conversation rather than it being like sober me and like drunk you, or sober you and drunk me. It was just like two entirely different people.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We should do that. We should set up like a one-shot campaign where we're all drunk, and the gist is that, like the majority of D&D campaigns, it starts in a tavern and we're all pissed. And it's just like, you have this one mission to do over the night in this town, but you're all intoxicated, and we are actually IRL intoxicated, and it's like, I'm going over there.
Yes.
Mid-conversation, get up and leave to go take a piss.
Yeah, there's one thing about that though. I figured out I am slightly allergic to alcohol.
Oh.
So if I drink alcohol, I will get extremely red. Like, my hat will just explode like a tomato. So if we're going to do that, I'm just a red tomato.
Oh my god, it's like, take it moderate. I don't think I'll get absolutely blasted, because I think we need to learn how to operate a Zoom call for one thing.
But basically, one glass will make me red.
I think what we do is we do that, but obviously there's a process of drinking beforehand. And I vote we do a podcast type stream
Yeah.
Where we sit around and have a drink and just chat
Every time
about
Becca
stuff.
says, we take a drink. We do a D&D based ring of fire over a single call.
I'm safe this time because Naomi isn't here yet.
Yeah.
This is when she types in chat like, I am here, I'm counting.
Still watching.
Yeah.
Still here.
No, I think... Hey, poke your eyes out, he's here. I almost got that sentence out. But no, either what we do is we have like a podcast drinking stream where we all sit around, we have a chat about whatever is going on in life, obviously suitable for public consumption, but we just have a normal chat, we have a drink, and then we say like 15-20 minutes, we'll be back, but this time playing D&D, and then we'll play D&D.
Yeah.
And continue drinking.
Yes.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds ideal.
Yeah. So
that sounds like a good quarantine activity.
Yeah.
We also said we do like a 12/24 hour stream.
Ooh. Yeah, we could get drunk within the first 6 hours.
Yeah.
Just wake up 5 a.m. Alright, let's get the whiskey out.
Just play D&D for like 24 hours straight. Yeah. Jesus.
A lovely breakfast Baileys. Just carry on throughout the day.
Just make a hot cocoa in the evening with a bit of Baileys in it. Just like...
Just keep it going through the various types of
coffee with a bit of like
Irish.
Just every beverage you have, just pour a little bit of it in.
Skinny latte with some sake in it, just pouring it all in.
Just the entire bottle.
Oh, we need to do
like
that.
at the end of the day, the entire bottle.
And of course, remember to hydrate, and it's just have a bottle of vodka. It is water, I swear.
I'm sure.
Wow, yeah.
This is going to be saved to YouTube.
Yep. Oh no, we're not promising we're doing anything. This is basically just casual conversation. This is actually the only time we plan out anything that we want to do.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about this kind of stuff offline. No. Not that we can, because we're in the middle of a palindrome, but... Well, that was a nice dose of reality.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I vote we do a 24-hour stream with or without alcohol, because that way we can swap people in and out.
Yeah.
Because we have enough players. It's getting worse. More of my face is becoming overexposed.
I mean, it's getting darker at my end. I don't know why it's happening.
I'm just taking your light.
Yeah.
No, that didn't work.
No.
Apparently, I'm stuck like this. It's gonna get darker and darker until eventually it's just black screen.
Okay, I'm gonna destroy the layout for a hot second. You know what, You can't see us, but you can still hear us. I'm trying to fix my camera.
For those who don't know, there is at least one person in our group who probably maintains order. We have now just discovered that might be Naomi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just which one more person has to leave of this group before it's literally just chaos? It's just a stream left on, forgotten, recording what on earth is going on.
I think if I leave, that will happen with you two guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll just start our own podcast and we forget to hit stop recording.
Yeah, just keep talking.
A 28-hour podcast.
Jesus, what's happening?
I was just like, if I'm playing around with controls, I might as well play around with this as
colour
well.
correction.
Sure.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, let's start talking about D&D again.
Yes.
No, this is the best part of this podcast.
No, I mean, we need to talk about fishing.
Yeah, fishing and exploding a fish.
Yeah.
I was so off for that episode. All I did was get some
mushrooms. You picked some poisonous mushrooms.
That were poisonous, mostly.
Yeah.
Was it?
I'm really glad you rolled an 18 on your last nature check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
And I think Dave rewrote it in a way that your sword was the one who gave you warning to not eat the mushrooms.
Yeah.
So not even Kia gets the inclination of thinking, oh, maybe this isn't safe to eat.
They're just like, it's just a pretty car, y'all.
Just a bag full of death caps and toadstools, and you're just like, I can make a good meal out of this.
You know what? If Kia dies, it means I can make a character who's less angsty and therefore potentially more fun to play.
Well, you could maybe change it up a little. Just let her open up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what the plan is, but it takes time.
Yeah, I think it also takes other members of the group to say, "Hey, Kia, do you want to join in on this?" And I don't think any of us is willing to be that character yet.
Yeah.
We haven't really reached that point yet.
No. It's gonna take a little bit, which is fine. It's just how it is sometimes.
It is how it is.
But I like forget why I very quickly got bored of making angsty characters. And then I make another angsty character and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, but I think if you think about like what she would be like if she opened up and if she had fun, then she wouldn't be an angsty character anymore. It's just like she's out of her comfort zone right now and she's just with people she doesn't know that are like against her. Yeah. And if she finds the moment when she's like, okay, these people are kind of to be trusted, I can open up a bit more, I can be more talkative, I can just be more myself, then it could be fun to play her, because then you can like basically go any direction with her.
Yeah.
Because you have like the closed version of herself right now, and there's always something behind the curtain that's a bit of a different personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just takes time to get to the point and reach the point where she opens up.
Yeah, I think that's the reason angsty characters exist in a lot of stuff. There's rarely a lot of perma-angsty characters.
Yeah.
I always feel like they're put in the thing to be like initially angsty, but something happens because it's interesting to see somebody who's very hardened, you know, very recluse, just suddenly react to something that is the polar opposite of them.
Yeah. And because, like, I feel like he has a really blank slate right now. You have a lot of opportunities and a lot of directions you can go. So there's a lot of creativity you can still put in her, like, to make a really
spontaneous decisions.
Yeah.
Because it was a spontaneous decision for me to have Snipe constantly sleeping in bushes all the time, but I stuck by it. Goddammit!
You were like, I
still do it.
I've got a thing, and my God, will I stick to it?
Yes. I was given it, and I thought, this is me, and I am adamant. I will never change it.
This will be the thing.
Yes.
There's one thing, and I will cling to it until the end.
Yeah,
she's gonna be dying, and you're like, "Where's the bushes?"
Naomi says she can
I
join
have something
now.
very different
She can
planned for that.
join. Oh boy, you're gonna ruin my layout.
I will text her so she can open.
I need to. I forgot that she probably is watching. Okay, everything is going wrong. Help!
Go to the emergency screen.
I have
emergency screen.
Okay.
Welcome to the emergency screen. Woo!
No, choppers are coming over.
Welcome to the panic room.
Welcome to this. Poke your eyes out. Game says, I have an angsty character, but after he hit rock bottom, his character grew. I'm slowly turning the evil crew good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
That's very interesting to turn an evil characters to a good side.
I think he discussed that he was constantly running a bunch of evil characters.
Yes,
now the progression of them becoming good is starting to happen.
I think as a DM, that's really fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the thing as well. I was making my the backup character for the inevitable doom that is to come for us for a Telltale. I was thinking of alignments, and I just thought, oh, my character might be evil, because I was just thinking of like their background and how they are, their personality. I was thinking, well, they might actually just be evil at that point. So I was thinking, maybe I'll just put lawful ? For now.
Lawful?
Yeah, sticking to a set of rules, but still being on the evil side.
Yeah,
it's
you can
really
like
fun.
lawful and neutral is like keeping to your own personal codes as well as like obeying certain laws.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, evil characters are a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
I realized with Rascal. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Now it's getting darker.
Lighting, who is she? Jesus.
We're just gonna stick with this now.
Yes, you're sunburned.
That's just a mental state of
just got lighter as well. It's just eyes and mouth suspended in the light.
Hey, Naomi is here.
Hey.
Hey.
Back at the sticky note room.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Okay, now I have to work out
Naomi,
the
please
layout.
help us. We've been having a very depressing conversation about Rotell's Realm.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Fuck me if I know.
Everything and nothing.
Yeah. Well, one primary thing we have is, has Janks approached you with an ominous question recently?
Recently? No.
Has he not? Oh, no. Oh, well, we're fucked, apparently.
Yeah.
Janks has got confidence that Kaya's going to survive in that case.
Oh, that question. Yeah, no, I think he sent that to everyone, right?
Yeah.
It was in the group chat.
Yeah. We had a mental breakdown when we had those messages because we were in the same call, and so we were just messaging him back and forth, and then eventually he just spontaneously joined the call to just talk to him.
Well, I DM'd him in his, like, when he also sent the message he sent to Soph and Becca. I said we're currently in a Zoom call having a breakdown. That's literally what I said, and he said if the Zoom call's open, I can hop in for a second and explain it.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Just for your information, Becca, Soph, and me are still having a call, having a bit of an existential crisis, thinking about characters. And he said, "Well, if the call's open, I'd be happy to jump in and explain."
Yeah.
And that's when you walked away.
Yeah, I went away to go get a snack, and then the shock of me walking into the room and seeing Janks the call just went, "Oh shit!" and ran out of the room again.
That was so good.
I think everyone is in the right place.
Hopefully.
That's
Sure.
good.
Yeah, let's go with that.
If the stream wants to catch up.
What am I moving? What's happening? What is this that I'm...
Yeah, everyone's a good place. Hey.
Why is
You
that...
okay?
I'm so confused.
You okay, Becca?
I'm doing great. This is wonderful.
But speaking of LTRL backup characters, we've not said too much about what characters we do have planned for the inevitable doom that awaits all of us. But
I don't have a character plan.
Yeah. Do you
No, I have to think about
have
it.
a plan of who you might connect the character to, or what you might connect the character to?
No, listen. He sent me that message. I was in an airport.
Yeah.
About to
I was in a pit of air.
I was an airplane. No, yeah, I was just not in the right spot to be thinking about anything except, which flight is going to be delayed at that moment.
Yeah. Needless to say, Janks 2 is a very peak time to be messaging us.
Yeah.
Something that made us very upset.
Sunday evening around 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to think about it. Great. Thanks, Jenks.
Yeah, I think we have some time to think about it. I don't think we'll die
Are you
immediately.